We turn towards the open sea once again. Sails fluttering in the wind. We can only hope for a stiff breeze and a fast passage.
I will never make it.
Hi, we're the O'Kellys.
And this is our catamaran, Clarity.
We've been on the run since a jewelry heist went bad a few years ago.
Since then, we've been hiding in plain sight as YouTubers.
It's been going great, but recently we got found out.
Time for a new identity.
Who do you want to be this time?
Laura Ingalls.
Derek Diggler. And all I know is that I can run to the front of the bow in about 5 seconds without getting winded. How do I know that those paddleboarders are probably going to fall off? How do I know these things?
With our new mission in hand, we set off in the dark of night to teach people how to straighten their rudders and sail faster on a catamaran.
So it's nice and dry out. The humidity's kind of gone. And just making some coffee. Get ready for a nice sailing day.
Decent breeze. Gonna shut down the engines when we round the mark here. And then we'll be barreling towards that golden ball of sun. Man, it's nice this morning. Coming around the mark, and the wind is filling in from the beam. And it's one of my favorite parts of a sailing trip. It's turning off the motors. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Pretty smooth overall. Now I'll ease that main out. And now I'll jab the jib afterwards. Wow. Looks like it wants to go wing on wing here for a second. So we are close reaching right now. I want to demonstrate something that is important on all sailboats, but especially on catamarans, because weather helm, it's a bit of a drag. Those rudders lose their bite and you're just slowing the boat down. So you'll notice this piece of line wound around the helm. That's the center of the helm. That's helm neutral. When that piece of line is straight up and down, the rudders are straight. They're not deflected one way or another. When you see that the rudder is consistently deflected to one side, in this case,
The rudders are pointed towards the wind.
that's called weather helm. Means that the rudders are trimming the boat, counteracting the force of the mainsail. So in essence, we've got too much pressure in our mainsail. So that tends to slow the boat down, especially once you've got the helm turned about half a turn. You're really taking a bite out of your speed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ease the main sheet and let the main twist off a little bit. That means less pressure on the main. I think we'll see that the helm balances out.
All right, let's hit rewind for a second so we're all on the same page. When I'm talking about releasing the main to let the leech twist off, here's what I'm talking about. The main sheet is actually pulling in two different directions. First of all, it's pulling the sail inward towards the center of the boat, but it's also pulling the sail down. And what that does is pull the leech, or the aft end of the sail, closed. So the more we release our main sheet, the more we're going to allow that leech to open up and twist off, depowering the sail. We do have to be careful though, especially close reaching, because as we let that leech off, we could destroy the little slot effect we've got going between the jib and the mainsail. As with all things sail trim, a lot of times it makes sense to make small adjustments, see what the effect is, and then tweak the other sails accordingly.
So letting the main off, two things immediately happen. First of all, the autopilot is compensating less for that imbalance in the main, so the rudders are more straight ahead, and our speed just jumped from 7.6 to 8.3 with no change in wind speed. So with catamarans, the more balanced you can sail them, the faster you're going to sail. You're also going to have the autopilot working less hard, so that saves you electricity. The rudders are there to trim the boat up. You don't necessarily have to have the rudder, just straight ahead, fore and aft all the time. But the more helm you've got, the more drag you've got, and definitely it's slowing you down. So keeping the boat in trim, keeping the boat balanced is pretty important on a catamaran.
Balance and trim are actually important on all sailboats. It's just that monohulls are a little more forgiving. See, here's what's going on when you've got an overpowered sail on a monohull. It just tips, and as it tips or heels, it spills the wind, it spills the power. So you don't have to have quite as much rudder to counteract the overpowering of one of the sails. The catamaran is a bit more sensitive to rudder drag because it doesn't heel. And because it doesn't heel, it's harder to feel when a catamaran is overpowered or out of balance. But here are some of the signs to look for on your cat. Continuous rudder deflection of more than, let's say, half a turn of the wheel. Difficulty in holding course. And one last final important sign that the catamaran is a bit overpowered or is out of balance is that the leeward bow is getting a bit buried in the waves.
With all these little tweaks, we are trimmed up perfectly, and the wind comes around for a broad reach.
Kind of lonely out here. Seen one other sailboat, long ways off. I'd say it doesn't get any easier than this.
Old Yeller's doing good.
Old Yeller is doing good. Old Yeller doesn't look quite as bad as I remember. But it could just be because we're sailing deep, we're off the wind. So when we pinch up, that's when you notice it's pretty bagged out.
Guess we need to go downwind.
What do you think about that sail patch? Is there anything we can do on that?
Oh, we'll take care of that tomorrow. It's perfect out here. I just want to keep going. We'd love to make a run up to New England, but it's the peak of hurricane season, and Ida is out there kicking up quite a swell.
Ida was throwing up 14 and even 16-foot swells along the mid-Atlantic coast. I'll tell you though, on Clarity, we wanted none of it.
That's been a pretty uneventful sail. The wind's picked up nicely from behind. We've got 13 to 18 knots, getting into the low 20s, and we are sailing deep. Speed is varying between 7.5 and 10.5 knots.
And the clouds in the distance were beginning to build.
Well, it sure looks ominous. Hopefully we get in time. The engines sure sound good. That's nice.
Why does it seem like we're always running down a storm?
I'd say the storm is running down us. It's going to arrive pretty much when we get there, I think. We got about 8 or 9 miles to go. Motor sailing now. After a beautiful sail up. That'd be nice to get in before the rain does. Who knows if these sails will hold together? They may fall apart.
The Chesapeake Bay has hundreds and hundreds of protected anchorages. It's a cruising paradise. But not all of these bays have public access. For the sanity of the crew, we make a special effort to find anchorages that have public access so we can get off and stretch our legs. We'd love to tell you where this is, but we promised our friends who told us about it that we wouldn't reveal it in a video. And it's a beautiful park with all kinds of trails. Hopefully we can find the trail. I think it's over here. Is that our marker?
That's our marker. It just cleared out all these spider webs.
Ah, it's so nice to be able to get off the boat, stretch our legs, commune with the trees, get our creative juices flowing.
Pretty darn nice lifestyle. What do you think, Laura Ingalls?
Derek, I'm telling you, I don't know how you know how to pick these anchorages.
Where did we even come up with that idea? I think it came up in about 2 or 3 minutes. We had it shot in 2 or 3 minutes. It took on a life of its own. Hopefully you guys were entertained by that.
We laughed a lot.
We were entertained.
We have a few updates to share.
News items, if you will.
We have a new sailmaker partner.
To catch you up, 2 episodes ago, we had a mainsail that had been built for Clarity, but it just was not up to spec. I guess it wasn't too clear in the video, but we did send that sail back to the sailmaker. No money changed hands, nobody worse for the wear, and they were actually very nice about it. I think they understood that it just wasn't the right fit for us, so to speak. But we still need a new mainsail. That's a huge expense, and we got lucky.
Yes, Ullman wants to partner with us.
We have all Ullman sails on this boat with the exception of the spinnaker, and they are really, really good sails. They're what come originally on this boat. We're going to be doing some, I guess, upgrading in terms of fabric and materials, and of course we're going to be bringing you guys along that journey as we learn about that stuff.
So we'll tell you more about that in the next episode.
Another huge news item, of course, is the coffee business. So Kelly style.
It's shipping today. The first roast is headed out.
Yeah, thank you to everybody who ordered on this first round. Here's how it's going to work. We're going to do just 2 roasts per month.
Because it's all about freshness with this coffee. And so the 2nd and 4th week, you will get coffee shipped to you.
So that means that the previous weekend, you need to get your orders in. So by Sunday of the 1st and 3rd, is that right?
Yeah, so October 3rd, Sunday, if you get your orders in, you'll get it the following week. And we have a new subscribe feature. You save 15%.
I really like the subscription stuff because you just don't have to think about it. Anything I don't have to think about, that helps.
Yeah, you just have to figure out how many bags of coffee do I drink in 2 weeks.
And that turns out to be what discount? 15% off?
Yeah.
That's a big help.
Yeah, and if you're interested in ground coffee, pre-ground coffee, let us know because that is something we could add. And if you notice, we did not head up to New England.
Yeah, we mentioned it in the video this week. We just missed the weather. We were too late getting out because of the delays with the previous main sail. And now looking at the weather patterns, the hurricanes are coming up the coast and the cold fronts are getting strong as well. So why make all that effort when we can only stay up there for a week or so?
Yeah, I think we made the right call. And I think it just shows that you never know what's going to happen.
What's the old saying? Plans are written in sand at low tide. Well, for us, I think it's written in Jell-O or something like that because our plans change continuously.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of used to it now.
I mean, you said you wanted adventure. What adventure would there be if you knew what was going to happen?
It's so true. We got to let go of plans.
And we're just going to kick back, relax, and tour around the Chesapeake, which is a really beautiful spot to cruise. We'll show you this anchorage in an episode coming up. And we're also going to Annapolis and Washington, D.C.
Yeah, really cool. Next week's episode is going to be great.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
If you want to support the channel, hit like.
What is so funny about that? Just hit like or subscribe.
Leave us a comment.
Just press some sort of button on the screen and something will happen that's good. But not the downvote. No, don't press that one. That's bad.
All right, thanks everyone.
Take care. Bye.